Hey YouTube, just real quick today, working on the F8 today, installing a set of, doing a number of different things, but mainly installing IBOC lowering springs and also the vorshlag front camber plates. One thing I've just noticed, it's kind of irritating. There's a lot of just watching some of the other videos out there on spring installs, camber plate installs on the F80 platform, or just in general. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people out there that understand how to properly use tools to torque the actual nut to tighten the shock shaft nut properly. On the F80, the stock EDC nut is, I think, a 12 point, which is 18 millimeters, and when you go to the vorshlag, it comes with this proprietary nut that's a 22 6 point. So the torque spec is 71 newton meters, and that's comes out to be about 52 foot-pounds. I see a lot of people that have videos that are pretty detailed, or goes over how to install struts and springs and also the camber plates. I think I use Farkle's video to get most of the instruction on how to install the camber plates. It was highly recommended, but even he doesn't have the proper tools or torque spec on the actual strut nut. So I just want to cover that real quick. Back when I started first working on cars, I would just kind of impact them on there like a lot of novice mechanics would do. But you don't really need a lot of advanced tools or anything. I bought, you can find these Schwaben pass-through sockets. You can get the whole set, like 5 or 6 sockets from FCP or ECS or Turner, for like 50 or 60 bucks. It's not very expensive. You can use these on just about any car that is using struts or shocks. In this case, we're using a 22 millimeter, which is a pretty big socket. It affords us a lot of inner clearance because the 22 millimeter is so large. You just need also your torque wrench here. We're using a 3/8 torque wrench from who's this, Tecton. And what is this? Don't need this guy. So we also need our 10 millimeter socket, just using the 6 point so we don't strip anything out. This is a 3/8 drive. If you have clearance issues, you could go down to a 1/4 inch drive for more clearance to have a smaller 10 millimeter socket. In this case, we're working with a 22 millimeter strut nut, so it's pretty big in there inside. This is going to be fitting inside of it, so we have plenty of clearance. And also, something that a lot of people don't have in their tool inventory, I've been using these for like 20 years now. This is a set of the Craftsman socket caps. So it'll have one socket cap in this set. You can find these on Amazon, like some Chinesium set for like 10 bucks. These are made in USA. I don't think you can get these anymore. Might be able to find a set on eBay if you look that number up there. There's one for a 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 drive, and 1/2 inch. In this case, we're just going to be using the 3/8. If you need more clearance, like I said, you can go down to a 1/4 inch drive. But how this works is you just place this into the square drive for the socket. Trying to do this one-handed, sorry. And as a detent, just press it in there, and you can see instead of sticking like a socket wrench in there now we can just slip a wrench over this way. And that's going to be our counter hold. This is going to go inside of our pass-through, and then we're going to counter hold with our wrench. These socket caps are typically in standard. So in this case, for the 3/8 square drive, the hex size is 9/16. So you're going to have to go back to using fractions. And it just goes like this. So I'm going to try to demonstrate this for you. Now let me get set up over here real quick. I'm going to try to do this without any cuts or video editing. I just don't got time for that these days. Let's see if I can get the camera positioned. How's that look? Not too shabby. All right. So set the torque wrench at 52 foot-pounds. Get the pass-through socket on there and torque wrench, and just pop our 10 mil socket to counter hold the actual shaft. Put your 9/16 wrench in the center and just start torquing down. And that's it. You do not need to use an impact ever to tighten those nuts. Why would you do that? I have no idea. You know, this is a $600 set of camber plates, and this is a very expensive car with very expensive shocks. I do not know why anyone would simply not buy these very inexpensive tools to do it properly. But that's my rant for today. Just thought I'd share. Thanks, and happy wrenching.